Hey guys, what's going on? It's Salvage here, and today I just want to talk about Spider-Man PS4. I want to talk about the story, because a lot of people, I think, have a very weird concern that the story is going to be very generic. It's just going to be another Spider-Man story. And to that, I say, do you like Batman? Do you like the Batman stories? Do you like Batman Arkham Knight, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham Origins and City? Well, if that's the case, then, well, you like generic stories. Whether you like it or not, Batman being trapped in an asylum with all of his villains and rogues galleries, it's generic, and all of them trying to kill Batman is generic. Scarecrow getting together a team to kill Batman, guys, come on. Like, if we're really going to be concerned about Spider-Man having a very generic story, we have to look at, of course, past games that have had generic stories. And if anything, the stories that we've gotten in the previous games are all pretty much unique. I really can't tell you that these games, like Spider-Man 2, are not unique. They take what the movies did and make them their own and try to make it completely different. And I think a lot of people kind of think that these are generic stories. They're not. These Spider-Man stories are so much more unique than what people lead on to actually think. Like, these are interesting tales of him that we never really seen in the comics before, and that's just a fact. So when we look at, of course, Spider-Man PS4, it's just the only thing that I could really think of that is very similar are the villains and them trying to kill Spider-Man. Have they tried to do it over a week span? Maybe, right? Maybe we've seen this story before, but it's still a very different world. It's still different characters, different villains that he's going up against that he really doesn't have that much of a presence with, you know what I mean? Like Kingpin, sure, yeah, that's like one of Spider-Man's villains. Like, they've fought before in the comics. But in modern times, in current history in comics, they really haven't. And it's something that's very different, you know? And the integration between, of course, Spider-Man's personal life being Peter Parker and then being Spider-Man, those clashing, that's been done before in the comics. That's never been done before in a video game. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't really seem or scream generic. His life clashing between his two identities, that might be generic in the comics, but it's not certainly generic in the games. And I think if we're going to be comparing it to, of course, the games, we have to really look at it. And yeah, besides, like, you know, Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I guess we have to classify that as a Spider-Man game now, which we really shouldn't. Yeah, sure. His personal life sometimes clashed with his Spider-Man life. Actually, not really, not a lot. It was more of his personal life just being a dick or just being nice to his bad guys, and then him becoming Spider-Man. It wasn't really him, you know, balancing two worlds. It was him living out two worlds. If what we are told from this game is true, it's going to be him balancing these two identities, these two worlds, and how to actually, you know, keep rather Aunt May or the public away from himself. And I think that's something that's a little unique in a Spider-Man game. I don't think that's really generic. I don't think that's what is super concerning about this game. And I really don't, I don't know what other reasons. I mean, a lot of people are saying that, of course, the villains teaming up. Like, of course the villains are going to go after Spider-Man. They're fucking villains. Like, what else did you expect them to do? I really hope that they give the villains more characters. And even with that little Shocker boss battle that we saw, that seemed like they gave him a little bit more character. Like, I understood where Shocker was coming from. I understood his motive. He didn't really want to do this, but he had to. He was forced to, you know? And not only that, it seems like they have a really good history, and it's really fun to see that dynamic that we haven't seen before in other video games when we fight Shocker. When we fought Shocker in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, he was just some random Russian who got powers somehow. I don't remember. I don't think we should consider that a Spider-Man game. But, you know, compared to other games, so far, these villains have personality. They seem a little one-note, but from the Shocker boss battle, if they're going to keep doing that, if they're going to have boss battles like that, where they have the villain have a little bit more personality and give his reason and motive a little bit more while you're fighting him, I think that can really bring a lot more to this game than other Spider-Man games. And not just taunting Spider-Man or stuff like that, like actually talking to him. It would be something that would be different, and I hope that they do that. And it seems like from what we've seen, again, it seems like they're doing that. I really hope that this game is going to be great. I really am looking forward to it. I know that a lot of people are concerned about it, and it's understandable. And I understand that, you know, people want to criticize this game, but the one thing that I have to say to those people is just be hopeful. You know, be happy that we're getting a really, really good game. It looks great. It sounds great. The creators have passion for it. More passion than Activision and Treyarch could have ever given this franchise. So I honestly have to say to the people really, really deep down thinking that this game is going to be absolutely awful, I think that you guys just need to be hopeful and think about at least some of the aspects of this game a little bit more in depth instead of just looking at the base versions of what you're talking about. That's basically all I gotta say. I just wanted to make a commentary about Spider-Man PS4. I really am looking forward to this game. And in August, there is going to be some special stuff happening with my videos in terms of Spider-Man PS4 and maybe some people in the community. So look out for that. It's going to be really fun. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.